Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Schultz, Community Manager here at RentPrep. I'm also a licensed real estate broker and property manager with over 14 years of experience in the rental industry. Today we're at one of our vacant properties that I actually have under management. We're going to go ahead and show you how I do an interior apartment walkthrough video, and then we're going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to get a better quality video. Finally, we're going to take you back to the office and show you how to get it uploaded to YouTube so that you can share it with your tenant prospects. Let's get to it. So we've just walked into the front entrance of the apartment here, and one of the first things that I want you to start thinking about before you go in to record your video are some of the key features that make your apartment stand out from others in the neighborhood. For instance, right in the front entrance of this apartment, we have a huge closet that you otherwise wouldn't know about unless you noticed it as you walked in and opened that door up. This is a key feature that we want to make sure we highlight because this is one of the main storage areas for this apartment. In addition to this, we have some parking on the back side of the building that you can see through one of the bedroom windows. We're going to go ahead and highlight that as well as part of our walkthrough video because that's an uncommon characteristic for houses in this area. One of the most important steps that you can take before you go to film a video is making sure that you turn on all of the lights in the property. Having a well-lit property is going to make sure that you get much better quality video than if you're trying to shoot grainy video in the dark and then write it after the fact. Never really seems to work out well that way. I do recommend going through, checking all of your light fixtures prior to filming, making sure that you have good working lights in all of your fixtures, and making sure that all of your lights are turned on. If you have a property that has a room with no overhead light, if it's a little bit on the darker side, I would certainly recommend adding some sort of supplemental light, be it from a lamp or whatever. Sometimes you can even get by with using like a work light or something like that that's plugged in on the floor and aim towards a wall so that you can get the best possible lighting. But that would be one of the most critical things that I would recommend when it comes to getting better quality video is making sure that you have enough light in all of your shots. All right, so now we've moved on into the kitchen, and while we do have an overhead light in here, it's not necessarily the brightest or the most sufficient source of light. So what I'm going to do to try to bring some more light into the space is open up these curtains a little bit, bring some light in through the windows. The other thing I wanted to mention is something that a lot of people forget. If you have a vent hood or an over-the-range microwave, those are often equipped with some sort of a light source underneath, which helps add a little bit more light into the room. The next thing that I wanted to mention is anytime you come across any miscellaneous debris, stuff that's been left around the apartment, you don't necessarily want that in your video. Go ahead and tuck that stuff out of the way so that it's not in your video. We'll come back and throw that in the garbage can later, but at least now you have a nice clean video when you're walking through the apartment. As you can see, we've made it into the bathroom here, and one of the first things you're going to want to do when preparing to shoot a bathroom, if you're able, go ahead and shut off those overhead vents. If you have a separate switch for your vent and your light, shut those overhead vents off so that you can eliminate that background noise from your video. That's automatically going to make your video look and sound a lot more professional. The next thing that I want to mention is the fact that bathrooms are very, very small spaces, and there's not a lot of room in here to shoot, but there are a lot of people who want to take a look at what the bathroom situation is prior to coming out to look at an apartment. There are a couple of things that you can do before you shoot video that's going to result in a little bit more high quality video coming out the back end. The first thing I'm going to mention is the toilet seat. It takes half a second to put your toilet seat down. You will never notice when a toilet seat is down in a video, but I guarantee you that you will notice every single time that a toilet seat is up in a video. So that's one of those things. Make sure you go ahead and put your toilet seats down prior to going in and shooting any video. The next thing I want to mention is the shower curtain here. We prefer to shoot all of our apartment walkthrough videos either with an open shower curtain or with no shower curtain present at all so that we can actually show off the shower in our units. And last but not least, I wanted to take a second to talk about blinds. We've talked a lot about lighting throughout this video and making sure that you're bringing as much light into the unit as possible before you shoot. This is probably one of the few exceptions. As you might be able to see out the window here, it's not the most pleasant viewing experience outside the window. We're getting plenty of light coming into this room from our overhead fixture. So in this particular instance, I would go ahead and close that blind. So we've just moved from the bathroom into the master bedroom. And as you can see, we're kind of limited on light from our overhead fixture in here. I know we had just talked about blinds in the bathroom, and we decided to leave that one closed because the view out that window is not necessarily the most appealing. Unfortunately, we're dealing with the same situation in this room. It's on the same side of the house, but I really want some more light in here, so I'm going to go ahead and raise this mini blind up to try to bring some additional light into the room. The other thing I noticed is that we have a cable line here that was left by the previous tenants. We try to leave these in place whenever possible because oftentimes the cable companies will reuse them, and that results in fewer holes in our property. For instance, this one was put right through a hardwood floor. I have a roll of cable ties. These are just Velcro cable ties that I picked up on Amazon. I use these all over my house. They're like 250 of them for $5. But you can obviously just use a piece of tape as well. Now we've got that cable, it's all set, it's tucked away, looking much neater, and you are ready to shoot your video. Now that we've gone ahead and shown you all of the different tips and tricks on how to get better quality video and on the steps that you need to take to prepare before you shoot, we're going to go ahead and actually shoot a walkthrough video of this apartment. I'm going to narrate the video the way that I typically would when I record a walkthrough video, and I'm actually going to drop that in right after this clip so that you get a full view of what I do and how I walk through to do a walkthrough video. I personally like to narrate my videos as I'm walking through. You may find that if you're better at video editing than what I am, you can come in after the fact and overlay audio on top of your video. Some people prefer to just do a walkthrough, and then YouTube will actually allow you to drop music beds over top of your videos, things of that nature. There are some very limited basic editing capabilities inside of YouTube, so if you don't feel comfortable doing a voice narration, you don't necessarily have to. I find that it just helps cover up some of the noise from walking around the apartment and things of that nature. So the next clip you see is going to be me inside that phone. Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Schultz, Principal Broker with Own Buffalo Inc. here. Today we are at 1234 Main Street in Buffalo. This is a 2-bedroom lower apartment. We're going to start with one of my favorite features. As you walk in the door here, you have an absolutely massive coat closet, lots of room for storage, and definitely one of the main storage areas for this unit. After that, you walk into the living room area. You have a joint living room and dining room, beautiful hardwood floors from one end to the other. We're going to walk back into the dining room here, and I will spin around so that you can get a view of the living room as well. And now we're going to move forward into the kitchen. This apartment does come complete with gas stove as well as a refrigerator. You do have plenty of countertop as well as lots of cabinet space. Your first bedroom in this apartment is off of the kitchen. This is the smaller of the 2 bedrooms. One feature that I wanted to point out is that we do have off-street parking behind the building. Backing up now, we're going to go out and into the bathroom. Obviously, the bathroom is pretty straightforward here. And you do have a shower that's been recently updated as well. Finally, we'll walk into the master bedroom, complete with a very, very large closet. This bedroom also comes complete with nice hardwood floors. And this is a pretty sizable bedroom. The apartment does loop back onto itself, so we're going to walk out of the master bedroom back into the dining room, and that concludes our tour. If you're interested in this or any of our other apartments, please give our office a call at 716-608-3200 or visit our website. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, so we are back in the office. Thanks for sticking with me. That was kind of a short drive for you guys, but kind of a long drive for me. What we're going to do is go ahead and actually upload the video to YouTube. We're going to walk you through that process, and I am going to jump over to desktop mode here. As you can see, I already have this file uploaded into my computer. There's a few different ways that you can go about doing this. I personally like uploading it from my phone to Google Drive and then pulling it down from Google Drive onto my computer. You could easily do this with Dropbox or whatever your preferred method of getting things from one place to another is when it comes to computer storage. A lot of people are using cloud-based softwares now, but you do have a couple of other options out there. You could also send this to yourself via email. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And the one thing that you want to make sure of if you are sending it to yourself via email is that you are getting the full-size file. You want to make sure that it's not compressing the file and changing the resolution of it, which is going to result in a lower quality video for you. But either way, we have our video file right here. Open it up real quick just to make sure that it works.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Schultz, Principal
Broker. There we go, we have the audio.
Lots of room for as well
Flick
as
through here a little bit.
You do have
pretty straightforward. All right, we know what we're doing. We've got the file here. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull up YouTube. There we go. Logged into my account. I am. So the first thing you're going to do is come up here to the upper right-hand corner, click on the create icon and hit upload video. This is the first time I've used this account, so if this is the first time that you've used your account, you're probably going to have to do the same. I'm going to just change this to RentPrep Andrew. And look at that. It gave me the name RentPrep Andrew. I kind of like that. Go ahead and create channel. Boom, boom, boom. And you'll be presented with this screen here, which is how you actually go about uploading your video. Click the upload video button. We're going to pull our file listing back up here. I prefer the desktop because it's easier to just drag and drop. Again, you can actually upload the file directly from your phone to YouTube and complete all of the process that we're working on right now from the YouTube website. This can all be completed actually directly from the YouTube app as well. So you don't ever have to move the file from your computer to, from your phone to your computer if you don't want to. You can just upload it via the YouTube app. And the other thing I wanted to mention, the final way of actually working on these files is upload it via the YouTube app, then save it as an unpublished video. Then you can come on the desktop version like what I'm doing now and actually finish out the process from here. So there are a few different ways to go about actually getting the file uploaded. You can see that this is a small file. The entire video is only a couple minutes long, so it doesn't take long to upload this. And while it's uploading, we can actually go through and put in the information that we would actually schedule or set up to go up when the listing goes live. So for title, we're going to say 1234 Main Street, Buffalo, New York. And I always like to put for rent right at the front of it so people know that it's a rental listing. On our YouTube page, the Own Buffalo YouTube page, we actually do this with our rental listings as well as sale listings. So I actually like to make sure that we specify what exactly it is that we're posting, whether it's a sale or a rental. Next, we are going to grab our description. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to find my notepad window. And I basically use the same description from my Zillow, Trulia, HotPads Facebook listings that I do for my YouTube with a couple of changes. This is actually the same description word for word. I include the description. I also make sure to include what is included with the rent. I also make sure that we put all of our room dimensions on there. And then finally, I make sure that there's a way for people to contact us. Now, what you may have noticed is as I recorded the walkthrough video, as I did this listing description, there's no rent amount listed anywhere in any of this. And the reason I do that is because it makes your video evergreen. Essentially, you can use the same video on your next tenant search without having to re-record the video or update your listing description or anything like that. You'll be able to just go in, grab this link, and share the same video over and over and over again. Obviously, that doesn't work if you've made a bunch of changes to the unit or repainted it a different color or upgraded appliances, something like that. But if you are just turning a unit and it's pretty much going to be the same as it was before, this is a good way to keep the entire listing evergreen so that you don't have to come back and update it. So you can see our video has finished updating. It's currently processing up to HD. This is something that YouTube does as part of their formatting and processing. I don't know what all it entails. But essentially what happens is it has a standard definition version, which is what's uploaded right now. Like if I was to hit the upload button or the go live button, you would get a standard definition version. And then the high definition version would actually become available once the high definition has gone through and done everything it needs to. And actually, it looks like it's done. I see that we're uploaded. The video processing is complete and there's no copyright issues. We're going to go ahead and scroll down here. YouTube does give you the option of either picking a randomly generated thumbnail that it pulls out of the video, or you can actually upload your own thumbnail. Typically what I'll do is take a picture of the exterior of the property and upload it as a thumbnail. In this instance, I don't have an exterior picture, so I'm just going to pick a, man, these all suck, don't they? We'll just leave it on that one for now. Playlists, again, this is something that if you're doing a lot of different YouTube content where you're, for instance, listing things for sale and listing things for rent, you might want to create a playlist. So we'll just call our playlist rental walkthroughs. And again, this doesn't have to be something that you do even. You don't have to create a playlist. This is more just for organization purposes. We'll go ahead and click done. Audience, this one is actually pretty important because YouTube's made a lot of changes in the recent years with regards to the type of content that is available to children. And basically this question is asking you, is this video made for children? Is it children geared content? And YouTube puts videos through, through a few extra checks when it's content that's geared towards children. And also the advertising guidelines are much more restrictive if you're a content generator that's out there trying to get paid. Obviously, we're not trying to get paid for this, but you get my point. If you're doing content on a large scale, YouTube is out there making sure that things are safe for children. Do you want to restrict your video to an adult audience? No, I don't have any reason to do that. We're going to go ahead and click show more just so you can see the rest of it. Paid promotions, if you're promoting something in your video, like a third-party product, for instance, if I was trying to sell paint in this video, I would have to click that box. We don't need to do that here. I'm going to unselect automatic chapters simply because it's not really useful here. I'm also going to uncheck the places box because it's not really relevant for our purposes. I don't typically do anything with the tags. However, I do select our language for the video, which in this case is US English. We didn't do any captions, so we'll leave that empty. I'm going to go ahead and say that we recorded this yesterday. And the video location, typically I will just put the township in. In this instance, it's Buffalo, New York. Standard YouTube license, allow embedding. Essentially, this is what allows you to embed a video into another website. So if you have, for instance, a website where you list all of your properties and you want to embed this video into that website, you would want to leave that checked. Publish to subscription feeds and notify subscribers. I always leave this one checked. Again, not a big deal if you're not a page that has a ton of subscribers or anything like that. But if someone is subscribed to you and you publish a video, having that box checked will alert them that a new video has been uploaded. I'm going to go ahead and turn off sampling because I don't want people creating shorts from this video. And in the category section, unfortunately, there's not really a real estate category here. I will typically use people and blogs because I think that's probably the most fitting. For comments, you have a few different options. I will either typically say hold all comments for review or hold potentially inappropriate comments for review. And the nice thing about this is a lot of times you'll get people that will come on and start screaming nonsense on your rental listings for no other reason other than because they can. And that's a good way to help cut back on some of that stuff. Next, we're going to come back up here to the top, click on video elements. You can add subtitles to the video if that's something that you want to do. You can also add an end screen or a card that would link to another video if you have more content out there. Again, we're going to skip over this for now because there's not really anything that's relevant specifically for this one video. So the checks page is essentially what YouTube does to make sure that you aren't uploading any copyrighted content. So for instance, if I had music playing when I was walking through the kitchen and it was a copyrighted song, YouTube can actually deny your video or strip you from the ability to generate any revenue from it. Again, that's not our primary concern here, but the other thing that they can do is actually mute your entire video. And if they mute your entire video, you might as well just delete it and re-upload it because nobody's going to hear your audio. They're not going to hear you talking about the apartment as you're walking through it. Last but not least, we get to our visibility page, and you have a couple of options here. You can make the entire video private so that you can share the link with only those people who you want to have the link. You can have it as an unlisted video. And again, that's the same thing. Anyone with the link will be able to watch the video. And then public, which is usually what I use. That's so that everybody who comes to our YouTube page is able to see that video. You can also schedule the video, which is nice. So if you know that the video was shot a little bit early and that you're not planning on releasing the apartment for rent for another week, you can actually pre-schedule this to list in the future at whatever time you want, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's just done and taken care of when you get to that stage of the game. I'm just going to go ahead and publish it now as a public video. The last thing I want to point out on this screen is over here, you, number one, have a preview of your video. You can actually walk through and see the video
area. You have a joint.
You can kind of jump from section to section, do whatever you need to do to review your video. And then last but not least, there's also a video link here where you can actually click to copy the link, and that just drops the link onto your clipboard so that it's a little bit easier for you to share it, drop that link wherever you need to. but we're going to go ahead and push the publish button. Video published, it lets you know. It gives you a link again so that you can click the copy button. It gives you a few different options to share your link as well. We're going to go ahead and hit close here, and we're going to click on, oh, actually I wanted to go just to the video, so we'll just paste our link in. And there you have it. We're going to go ahead and mute this, but we'll let it play in the background as we're talking here. So there you have it. That is a video, an interior walkthrough video of an apartment uploaded to YouTube. It's not as scary as it needs to be. Let me jump back here. I'm going to pause this and jump back to just talking ahead mode here. It's pretty straightforward. This doesn't have to be a complicated process. I think a lot of people get nervous about doing walkthrough videos because they're not sure what the process is, how it works, what do you say, what do you do? They're concerned that it's not going to look great. Listen, this is a 2-minute walkthrough video. This entire video is 2 minutes and 8 seconds long. It talks about everything that the people need to know when they come in to find out information about the apartment, but there's not a lot of extra fluff. And the reason for that is the more fluff you have in your videos, the more likely you are to lose your viewers before they get to the end of it, before they have an opportunity to actually reach out to you with regards to this available space. So there you have it. Recording a walkthrough video doesn't have to be a headache, and you really don't need anything more than the cell phone that you probably already have in your hand in order to get the job done. Are you already using video walkthroughs as part of your marketing? If you are, do us a favor, drop a comment down below and share one of your videos with us because we would definitely like to take a look at it. Do us a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Andrew Schultz with RentPrep.com, and we'll talk to you soon.